Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So Jai Bhim and Namo Buddhaya to all of you. Today we are in our study of the Buddha and his Dhamma. We are going to begin a new book, book number 4, new part of the book number 4, and this part number 3. And so far we have covered part 1 and part 2, where we have seen very interesting sort of discussion on what is how the same terminologies have led to the confusion, and Baba Sahib Ambedkar in a way has tried to clear a lot of confusing terminologies and what are and very complex ideas of rebirth, karma, transmigration, ahimsa. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, as he simplified those terms for us so that we can begin to practice the Buddha Dhamma. So when it comes to the Buddha Dhamma, the important thing is how do we practice the Buddhism in our way of life. And therefore this part 3 of the book 4 is very aptly titled as the Buddhist way of life. So when we take our refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha, it's very important for us to know how we should live our lives. How can I live my life? What is my way of life? And therefore, this part 3 is, we can say, a kind of a practical aspect of the Buddha Dhamma as to how we can make the Buddha Dhamma the very living Dhamma in our day-to-day life. So there's a lot of content of this part 3 is in the Gatha form and taken majorly from the Dhammapada. But as we know that Baba Sahib Ambedkar has this very systematic mind, and he had this way of communicating what is the pith and substance of the Buddha's doctrine in a way that will be understood by a lot of people. And, over the period of time, people can grasp what it is all about. So looking at this particular part 3, it's a long sort of part where Baba Sahib Ambedkar has classified the Buddhist way of life in 13 different subparts. And we are going to look at the scheme as to how Baba Sahib Ambedkar has done it, and what is it that we practice when we claim ourselves as the Buddhists. So basically, this 13 subparts, I'm going to read the titles of them, and the subparts themselves give us an idea as to what constitute the Buddhist way of life. So the subpart 1 on good, evil, and sin. This is the subpart number 1. On craving and lust. 2. On hurt and ill will. On anger and enmity. On man, mind, and impurities. On self and self-conquest. On wisdom, justice, and good company. On thoughtfulness and mindfulness. On vigilance, earnestness, and boldness. On sorrow and happiness. On charity and kindness. On hypocrisy. On following the right way. Mix not true Dhamma with false Dhamma. So if we grasp at the titles of the subparts, we begin to see the glimpse of the Buddhist way of life. And I think in the communities, we need to talk more and more about how we should live our lives as a Buddhist. And therefore, I think this part 3 of the book 4 is of tremendous importance. to practice the Buddha Dhamma. So today we are going to begin with sub part 1, which is titled by Baba Ambedkar as on good, evil, and sin. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read it through, and then I'm going to gloss over some of the very, some of the very important gathas of this sub part. So let's begin with sub part 1, which is titled, as I said, on good, evil, and sin. So there are 3 words, but they are very important: on good, evil, and sin. So the first verse goes like this: do good, be no party to evil, commit no sin. This is the Buddhist way of life. Now see, there are these 3 sentences, a very short and pithy. Do good, be no party to evil, commit no sin. Commit no sin. So you see, that's all there is to Buddhism. If anybody asks us what is there is to Buddhism as a way of life, you just say this: do good, be no party to evil, commit no sin. So you see, like there are stories about, the Chinese emperor asked the monk as to what is Buddha Dhamma, and the Chinese monk said, Sabba papasa karanang kusalasya upasampada sachitta pariyodapanang etang buddhana sasanam. This is the Dhamma in a nutshell. Sabba papasya karana means not doing any evil. Kusalasya upasampada, doing good. Working on one's own purification of mind. This is the Buddha's teaching. Now here, I think we can, this is so pithy, this verse number 1, that we can just write it on the walls of our homes, and that is it. That is all about Buddhism. Do good. So a Buddhist should always strive to do good. We should put a lot of efforts to do good. It's not saying be good. It's saying do good. And I think these words are very important. It's not about thinking, goody-goody. It's not about thinking, lofty. It is about doing good. It is putting the good in action. And I think that is what is very important. Akaranam. Kusalasya upasampada means acquire. Buddhism is not about being good, or it's not just about being good, be mealy-mouthed, having sweet talks. No. Buddha says in a very pithy way, do good. So when we talk about the Buddhist way of life, we have to put ourselves in the service of good. We have to do good, and we have not to be party to any evil, and commit no sin. Sabba papasya karanang kusalasya upasampada sachitta pariyodapanang etang buddhana sasana. So this is what the Buddhist monk told to the emperor. Emperor laughed. He said, "This is very easy, even for the 3 years old child to understand. It's so easy. The Buddha Dhamma is so easy." So the monk told the emperor, the Chinese emperor, that it's very easy to say or utter, but it's very difficult even for the 80 years old to practice it. And Baba Ambedkar has told us innumerable times that Buddhism is difficult path. It's not an easy path. It's very difficult path. It's not easy to do good, because we are always habituated to do evil. We are always habituated to do sins. So if anybody asks us, what is the Buddhist way of life? In 3 pithy sentences. What is it? Do good. Be no party to evil. Commit no sin. That is it. If we understand this, we understand the whole Buddha Dhamma. And this is the scheme that Baba Ambedkar follows in this part 3 of the book 4. So in the verse number 2, Baba Ambedkar says, this is the Buddhist way of life. And the verse number 3 onwards, Baba Ambedkar goes into explaining with clarity what is the importance of doing good. So let me read the verse number 3. If a man should do that which is good, let him do it again and again. Let him turn the desires of his heart thereto. Happy is the heaping of good. You see how profoundly Baba Ambedkar has talked about what is good. If a man should do that which is good, means women also. It's not gender. It's gender neutral. The man here is a gender neutral. If a person or a man or women should do that which is good, let them do it again and again. Let him turn the desires of his heart thereto. And this sentence, happy is the heaping of good. So how does one become happy? What is the path towards gaining happiness? And we know that the profound nirvana is the highest happiness. And how does anybody achieve the happiness or the nirvana? The answer is doing good again and again, non-stop, with the heart completely turned towards what is good. So let me read it again. If a man should do that which is good, let him do it again and again. Let him turn the desires of his heart thereto. Happy is the heaping of good. So path to the happiness goes only through doing good. If we are always doing evil, if we are always committing sins after sins, there won't be any happiness. So the verse number 4 clarifies it very beautifully. Think not casually of the good. Don't think casually of the good, saying it will not come to me. And I like this line very much. Drop by drop is the waterfall pot filled. By little added to little does good grow. So sometimes, we have this way of saying that, if I'm doing good, but I'm not happy. A lot of people complain about that. And they give up on doing goodness, good things. We do it. We just give it up thinking that, it is not going to help me. What is the point of doing good? I'm not happy. Sometimes it happens like that. Even if somebody is continuously doing good, they encounter a lot of difficulties. They encounter a lot of problems. What Baba Ambedkar is saying, think not casually of the good, saying it will not come to me, which means that if you are doing good actions, it will always have repercussions. Even a small thing done for the benefits of others, it brings innumerable benefits to the doer. So think not casually of the good, saying it will not come to me. Drop by drop is the water pot filled. You see, imagine a water pot. Well, we think that it's never going to fill up. But how does the water pot is filled up? If you want to fill up a water pot, drop by drop is the water pot filled. By little added to little does good grow. Very beautiful. By little added to little does good grow. And that is how the things grow in the world. They grow slowly, they grow gradually, and suddenly you see the big change. Suddenly you will find the whole, the water pot is filled with water. Isn't it? So don't think that, this is a small good thing and it will not have any consequence. Every little good thing that we do contributes towards the happiness. So you see, the verse number 4, think not casually of the good, saying it will not come to me. Drop by drop is the water pot filled. By little added to little does good grow. And that's how beautifully put by Baba Ambedkar, very beautifully explained the verses of the Tripitaka. But well done is that deed which brings one no regrets, the fruit whereof is received with delight and satisfaction. What a beautiful way of putting, what a beautiful language there. But well done is that deed which brings one no regret. So by doing many things, sometimes we feel regret. Oftentimes we feel regret of having done something, of having said something, or having thought something. And what is it here? What is the well done deed? What is the deed well done? When we do it, we have no regret. The fruit whereof is received with delight and satisfaction. So if we do something which brings one no regret, and the fruit thereof is received with delight and satisfaction. So don't underestimate good things, even the little ones. That's what Baba Ambedkar is saying, that by little, added to little, does good grow. And the verse number 5, but well done is that deed which brings one no regrets. The fruit whereof is received with delight and satisfaction. Well done is the deed which done brings no regrets. The fruit whereof is received with delight and satisfaction. You see, it's like a crescendo. Baba Ambedkar is stressing second time. Actually, the verse number 5 and the verse number 6 are the same. Even the 7th is the same. But you see the stress. When something is repeated, that means we can see how much stress is being put on that teaching. So well done is the deed which done brings no regrets. The fruit thereof is received with delight and satisfaction. Verse number 7, if a man does what is good, let him do it again. Let him delight in it. The accumulation of good is delightful. You see the crescendo, you see how the trace continues, putting the point across in the 3 verses. Baba Ambedkar is stressing the importance of doing good. Do good. Why do we do good? Because it delights our hearts. It frees our hearts. It makes us have this, what is called dissatisfaction. Even if a man does what is good, let him do it again. Let him delight in it. The accumulation of good is delightful. Now the verse number 8 is about evil. The same pattern, but just pay attention. You see, as I was saying, that when we do good, we expect that something good happen to us, and we give up on doing good because thinking that, it's not working. It's not so. Because the verse number 8 clarifies it very beautifully. Even a good man sees evil days, so long as his good deeds does not ripen. But when his good deed ripens, then does the good man see good things. So sometimes what happens, that our good is not enough to do away with the evil that we have accumulated due to ignorance, due to not following the precepts. What happens? Even if we are doing good, sometimes we see the good man even sees the evil days. Why? Because his good deed does not ripen. But when his good deed ripens, then does the good man see good things. So the point here is that whatever are the circumstances, even if we are seeing the evil days, do not give up on doing good things. Do not give up on doing good to the others. Let no man think lightly of good, saying in his heart, it will not come right unto me. Even by the falling of water drops, a water pot is filled. The wise man becomes full of good, even if he gathers it little by little. So do not think lightly of good, that it will not help me or it will not come rightly to me. It will come rightly to you. Just how the water pot is filled by the droplets of the water. So even if we gather little by little of good things, do it. The underlying point is that we have to do good no matter what. Even if we are facing some problems, even if we are facing some evil days or whatever is the circumstance, it doesn't matter. Continuity of doing good things, continuity of doing good is what is emphasized here. And the verse number 10 goes like this: far surpassing the fragrance of sandal or incense or lotus or jasmine is the fragrance of virtue. So, the fragrance of virtue can go against the wind. So sometimes when we smell fragrant incense or sandalwood or lotus or jasmine, beautiful fragrance. We all have this experience of smelling flowers. At days, some of the flowers smell beautifully. So what the Buddha is saying here is very, very important. So the fragrance of virtue can go against the wind. So if we are doing good, then what happens? If we are doing good, then the fragrance of virtue spreads everywhere, all over the world. When is this fragrance of incense and sandal, but the fragrance of virtue ascend to the highest place? You see how beautifully, in a few verses, Baba Ambedkar has got this beautiful garlands of teachings from the very vast ocean of the Buddha's teaching, and offered us a very clear understanding of the Buddhist way of life. Do good, no matter what, do good. Keep on doing good. Even if you are facing problems, keep on doing good. Don't give up on doing good. So now verse number 12 is all about, be no party to evil. Treat not lightly of evil, saying it will not come to me. Drop by drop is the water pot is filled, by little added to little, evil accumulates. So see, we see that this is a small evil act I have done, this is small evil I have done, it will not come to me. But even the smallest of the evil deed we have done come back to us. Little by little, we become more evil. We become more of a negative person. So even we have to watch the small evils that we do, and by little they become big problem. See, the language is like the good grows. Whatever good we do, little by little, it grows exponentially. Whatever, evil we do, it accumulates. This is growth and accumulation. Two beautiful words. In terms of the evil, it accumulates. We become stagnant. When something accumulates, what happens? It becomes stagnant. It becomes dead. We become we become dead. There is no growth. So when we do good, there is a growth. There is a possibility of going to the higher planes of existence and experiences. But when we do evil, we become fossilized. We become dead. We become dead human beings. We contribute nothing to the world. We become destructive in a sense. We don't become constructive. So, the verse number 12, treat not lightly of evil, saying it will not come to me. Drop by drop is the water pot filled, by little added to little. Evil accumulates. It is not well to do a deed which done brings regrets. How do we know that something is good or bad? The key word is regret. If we regret after doing something, you definitely know that thing, that deed was an evil deed. The fruit whereof is received with tears and lamentations. You see, you parallelly put what happens when you do good, and you parallelly put what happens when we do evil. When we do good, what happens? Delight and satisfaction. We get great delight. We feel delighted and we feel more satisfied. How? By doing good. But when we do something evil, the fruit whereof is received with tears and lamentations. Such a clarity, such a clear way of putting the things, such a clear way of understanding the Buddhist way of life. It is not well to do a deed which done brings regrets. The fruit whereof is received with tears and lamentations. Now compare tears and lamentations with delight and satisfaction. So what do we want? We want tears and lamentations, or we want delight and satisfaction. So if we want delight and satisfaction, what do? We do good. We do good things, even if little by little. We don't throw even the little opportunities of doing good. We do good all the time because that's the way towards happiness. It is not well to do a deed which done brings regrets, the fruit whereof is received with tears and lamentations. If a man speaks or acts, evil of mind, suffering follows him, close as the will, the hoop of the beast that draws the cart. So you see, this is the Gatha, first Gatha from the Dhammapad. Manopubangama Dhamma Manosetta Manomaya Manasache Paduttena Bhasativa Karotiva. Tatonam Dukkha Manaveti Chakhamba Vahato Padam. This is the first verse of Dhammapad. It's like the law, if you do good, if we do good, the good will follow. If we do bad, the bad will never leave you. So let us do good. So the verse number 14 is actually the first Gatha of Dhammapad. If a man speaks or acts evil of mind, suffering follows him or her, close as the wheel, the hoop of the beast that draws the cart. Follow not after things evil, dwell not in negligence, cherish not false ideas. See how, Baba Ambedkar, this is very great sort of a thinking pattern you see. The good is linked with the false ideas. So the more false ideas we cherish, the more we are susceptible to do evil. So what are we supposed to do? Follow not after things evil. Don't get carried away by the evil things. Dwell not in negligence. Don't be negligent. Because if we are not careful, if we are not attentive, we are taken over by the evil. So what Baba Ambedkar is bringing here from the Buddha's teaching is that dwell not in negligence. Don't be negligent. And what do? Cherish not false ideas. So many a times our ideas that we cherish in our mind are false ideas, and they force us to do the evil things. And verse number 16, hasten towards the excellent, suppress all evil thoughts. Whosoever is backward in doing good, his mind delights in evil. You see, now this verse number 16 brings the connection between the good and evil, and so profoundly explained by Baba Ambedkar in verse number 16. Hasten towards the excellent. Make a haste. Don't be heedless. Hasten towards the excellent. Suppress all evil thoughts. Try to suppress all evil thoughts. Whosoever is backward in doing good, his mind delights in evil. So if we are not careful and if we are not doing good, our mind is definitely going to take delight in evil. So doing good is an antidote to not doing evil. So if you want to do good and so the more we do good, the more we leave the evil behind. And I think this verse number 16 is a key that, if we want to do away with evil, we have to do good. It is not well to do that deed which done brings regret, the fruit whereof is received with tears and lamentation. Even an evildoer sees happiness so long as his evil deed does not ripen. But when his evil deed ripen, then does the evildoer see evil? Sometimes we look at the world and we see that there are many people who are doing evil things, and yet we see them happy. We see, what is wrong in there? They are enjoying their lives. But it is not so. Because their pot of bad deed is not yet filled. So once that pot of the wrong evil deed is filled, then they cannot escape from the consequences of the evil things that they have done. I find this very, very interesting, the way Baba Ambedkar has expressed and presented to us so beautifully, drawing on from a long tradition of studying the Tripitaka or the Buddha Vachan or the Buddha's teachings. Even an evil doer sees happiness so long as his evil deeds does not ripen. But when his evil deed ripens, then does the evil doer see evil. Let no man think lightly of evil, saying in his heart, it will not come right unto me. Even by the filling of water drops, a water pot is filled, the fool becomes full of evil, even if he gathers it little by little. The small evil thing has a consequence. It has a tremendous impact. And you see, if we understand it's simple, this one section of the Buddhism, the one sub part of the Buddhism is Dhamma, we understand everything. Do it. Do good. A man should hasten towards good and should keep his thought away from evil. If a man does what is good slothfully, his mind delights in evil. You see, so when we are doing good, we should be energetical. We should do it with vigor. If we are doing the good lazily, then easily our mind will be overpowered by the evil. It's very deep. It looks like lessons in morality, but it's not so. It's very deep. You know, this continuous trace of Baba Sahib Ambedkar is to be active in doing good. Do good all the time. Why? Because if we don't do good, then the evil will overpower us. If a man commits a sin, let him not do it again. But when it comes to good, do it again and again. But if a man commits a sin, let him not do it again. Let him not delight in sin. The accumulation of evil is painful. So the more evil that we accumulate, it becomes painful. Verse number 22, follow the law of virtue. Do not follow that of sin. The virtuous rest in bliss in this world. From lust is born sorrow. Kamato jayati soko. In Pali. From lust is born fear. Kamato jayati bhayang. To him who is wholly free from lust, there is neither sorrow nor fear. So verse number 23 is directly from Dhammapada, which goes like this. Kamato jayati soko, kamato jayati bhayang, kamato vipamutta kuto soko kuto bhayang. Very profound. The English translation goes like this. From lust is born sorrow, from lust is born fear. To him who is wholly free from lust, there is neither sorrow nor fear. Because the lust or running after the sensual pleasure is the cause of doing evil. Now, 24. And I think it's very aptly put here by Baba Ambedkar in this particular subsection. Hunger is the worst disease. Existence, the worst of distress. This knowing in accordance with truth and fact, Nibbana becomes the highest happiness. You see, so if somebody is hungry, it's the worst kind of a disease. Hunger is the worst kind of a disease. So you imagine that, you know, if we are helping people to not go hungry, providing them with what they need, and the very existence means the Nama Rupa is the distress. Anything that we hold on to ultimately leads to distress. Anything that we hold on to, even the good, if we try to, you know, become a moralist, saying that I am better than you, then also that becomes problematic. That becomes a distress. So knowing this in accordance with truth and fact, Nibbana becomes the highest happiness. Nibbanang Paramasukham. We have seen that. If we want happiness, we want to have sukha, then there is no substitute to Nibbana. We have to experience the Nibbana. And the verse number 25 goes like this. The evil done by oneself, self-begotten, self-bred, crushes the doer as a diamond breaks even a precious stone. What a powerful image that we are seeing here. What a powerful image that Baba Ambedkar has put before us. So evil is done by me, by myself. It is produced by me, self-begotten. It is self-bred, is cultivated by me. So that evil that I have cultivated, it crushes the doer as a diamond breaks even a precious stone. You see how the evil deeds just destroys us. They destroy our happiness. They destroy our being. They destroy our minds. The evil done by oneself, self-begotten, self-bred, crushes the doer as a diamond breaks even a precious stone. He whose wickedness is very great brings himself down to that state where his enemy wishes him to be. So what the verse number 26 is saying? He whose wickedness is very great brings himself down to that state where his enemy wishes him to be. So you see, if we keep on doing evil things, even the enemies won't do us that much harm. The harm that will be done by our own evil deeds. So who needs an enemy if we are evildoers? Our evil acts, our evil thinking will lead us to astray, to the level where our enemies want us to be. He whose wickedness is very great brings himself down to that state where his enemy wishes him to be, as a creeper does with the tree which it surrounds. So the ultimate path of destruction is self-begotten, is self-bred, and the evil done by oneself. We don't need any enemy. Our evil deeds itself causes more damage than the enemies can do the damage to us. So let me read this verse number 26 again. He whose wickedness is very great brings himself down to that state where his enemy wishes him to be, as a creeper does with the tree which it surrounds. And the verse number 27. And the last one. Bad deeds and deeds hurtful to ourselves are easy to do, difficult to do what is beneficial and good. So it's not easy to do the good things. It's very difficult to do, but it brings benefits and happiness. So you see, this when Baba Ambedkar is talking about the Buddhist way of life, he's talking about on good, evil, and sin. And we have to understand, as I said, do good, be no party to evil, commit no sin. This is the Buddhist way of life. How do we live our life as a committed Buddhist? Just 3 sentences and that's it. Do good, be no party to evil, commit no sin. Even if we understand this subpart, we have understand the Buddha Dhamma itself. So Buddha Dhamma is an action Dhamma. It is not just theory. You know, if we understood this part of the Buddha Dhamma, it lays stress on doing good. It lays stress on why we should do good, even if it is difficult. Even if we think it's little evil thing. No, it's not evil. It gets accumulated. The evil gets accumulated and the good grows. Though difficult to do the good things, but if we keep on doing the good things, it grows. It evolves. It makes us, it brings us the greatest happiness and benefit to us. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stop here and open up the class for the further discussion. So any reflection or anything that you would like to share today on this this subsection that we studied today? Was my internet clear?
Yes, it was clear.
Yeah, Jabin sir. Yeah,
Jabin.
it's clear, loud and clear.
Yes.
Today's section is moreover are the guidelines for happiness. I hope the way that we have to lead our life, the roadmap is there in it. No, but what I myself feel, it's very hard and very tough.
Yeah.
To follow each and every step of our life in this way. But yeah, the motive and target should be that we should fill drop by drop good things in us.
You see, this very clearly says that it's not easy. It's difficult to do good, isn't
Yes, yes, that,
it? So
yeah, that's why, because we are trying to follow all these things,
yeah,
but the society and the surrounding and the day-to-day problems
Hmm.
force us to say some lies and force us to tackle with the bad people in the way they are.
yeah. But the key word here is with regrets. So when we do something, do we regret? Do we feel regret? And I'm sure that if we do something which
Yeah,
is not
it's,
good, we feel regret.
yeah, it's there in
Yeah,
somewhere some.
we don't feel we don't feel what is called the delight and the satisfaction. We don't feel delight and satisfaction.
Yeah, it's there, it's there. But
So
how we should miss, these are the very broader and very deep roadmaps. Now, in during our discussions, let's discuss the things that how should we proceed in that direction. Then we have to find the ways now.
see, I think the most important clear-cut standards and the direction is given in the 5 precepts, isn't it? When we study the previous section of the Buddha and his Dhamma, we have found that there are the way Baba Sahib Ambedkar has put into play the 5 precepts. So 5 precepts, we know that they are very difficult to practice, but as you said, that they are there as a standard to judge. Right, Umesh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we know that they are difficult to practice. They are not easy because we are going against the stream. The whole world is going in the direction of a raga, dosa, and moha, and we are going against it. Right?
Right, sir. But that's the difference that I myself feel. It's all my own thought.
Hmm.
Being a monk,
Huh.
such things to follow is much easier for him rather than for the people that who is in the means I am in the working in a society or in this environment. For the monk, yeah, in monastery or all.
No, actually, when we are talking about these things, they can be practiced without being a monk or no monk. This is the guidelines for a good life for anybody. If anybody
Yeah.
wants to have a satisfied life, if anybody wants happiness, anybody, irrespective of whether they are monks or whoever they are, any human being, there are guidelines for the human beings. To if you want to suffer, it's in your hand. As this verse number says that this yeah, the verse number 25 says the evil done by oneself, self-begotten, self-bred, crushes the door as a diamond breaks even a precious stone. So you see, if you really want to harm yourself, if you really want yourself to live in the dungeon, you live in the hellish state of mind, it's up to you, Umesh bhai. So we are not talking about something for the monks or something for the
No.
group of people.
My reflection was that monks are much more superior for this, and they are enjoying this life in a better way. My motive was
It doesn't matter, brother. See, do good, whether you are monk or nun or whoever you are, doing good.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But only the thing that we face day to day, that's brings the hardship for us, no?
But it says no hardship, even if you feel it now, but in the long run, or when the things are, see, it's like this, that we feel that doing good is not affecting us. Okay, we feel that it's not
Yeah.
happening. I'm doing good, but nothing is happening. But what here Baba Sahib Ambedkar is clarifying from us from the Buddha Dhamma is don't neglect even the little act of doing good, because when it grows. So if we are doing something evil, we feel that I'm still happy. I'm eating well, drinking well, whatever. But if you are going on accumulating it, then one day you will feel so much of a suffering that you cannot take it.
Yeah, that's the way out. Means that we have to run these words in our veins.
So you have to choose whether you want a fulfilled life, whether you want a satisfied life, whether you want a delightful life, whether you want a happy life. You have to choose. And the
Yeah.
way towards delightful life, satisfied life goes through accumulating the good little by little,
Yes, true.
isn't it?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank
So
you.
that's our choice, Umesh bhai. It's not, we have to choose what kind of a life we want, whether we want a life which is full of suffering, whether we want a life which is full of dissatisfaction, whether we want a life which is like, living in the darkness. It's up to us, Umesh bhai. But once, if we want happiness, if we want satisfaction, there is no other way. This is the way. Doing good is the way.
Yes, the life of Baba Sahib is before us, and all of his suffering and enlightenment and all these things has given him a very remarkable position in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
And beside that, he himself is a man who has wrote this Buddha and his Dhamma and given the philosophy to the world.
Very beautifully put, Umesh bhai. So we have a role model that we can follow. We have somebody who is the embodiment of good,
Yes.
isn't it? Good, very good, Umesh bhai.
Verse number 8.
Yeah.
Even a good man sees evil days so long as his good deeds doesn't ripen. But when his good deeds ripen, then does the good man see good things. I think it means if a man had done evil deeds, and after that he stops doing evil deeds and does good deeds, then unless the good deeds ripen, then only he will see the good. He will get the fruits of that good deeds. Till that time, the good deeds should ripen. He should accumulate the good deeds, and then,
Exactly.
yeah.
The only way is do good. I tell you, whether you are facing a lot of difficulties, a lot of problems, whatever life there is, the point is doing good. Sabba papasya karanam kusalasya upasampada sachitta pariyadapanam. Etang buddhana sasana.
Can I say
Yes.
something?
Yes, Sunanda madam.
Yeah. Actually, Buddha's Dhamma is such that when you follow Dhamma, and when you accept the law of nature, and if you try to behave accordingly, if you are mindful, the happiness comes on its own. Because the meditation is the way where we can definitely control all our feelings. We can avoid our greeds, Krishna, and we can definitely do good things. When you are following Dhamma, automatically you never feel like doing anything evil. Your mindset gets changed, and automatically you think good, you do good, and you get the experience also. When you do something good, immediately you get the experience. As Buddha has said, Dhamma is ehi passiko, means you have to experience it and see. And you really get the very good experience when you are mindful. This is my observation. So I think everybody should follow Dhamma, and as per the Buddha's teaching, if we do our practical implementation, it really works very well. And the experiences are really very amazing. Means I have realized that even the miracle happens when you follow Dhamma.
My point is this: that you see, when we say follow Dhamma, it's good way of putting the things. But the way Baba Ambedkar has put, do good. So whether it's we don't have to use the Buddhist terminologies also. Doing good doesn't need the label of a religion. You see what I'm trying to say, Sunanda madam? So
yes.
So what is the Buddhist way of life? How do we know that somebody is a Buddhist? Doing good. They are not party to any evil, and they commit no sin. You see, very, very beautifully put it. Very beautifully put it. If we understand this one word, do good, do. It's not saying follow good. It's not saying be good. It is saying do good. Put efforts to do good. hasten your efforts to do good. Speed
It is
up.
very
Good.
difficult to do good actually. For day-to-day life, it's not very easy to do good.
Yes.
Because we experience so many things every moment, and it becomes very difficult to every time do good or think good. Even thoughts keeps on coming in our mind,
Yeah.
and it's difficult to avoid evil thoughts because it's a common thing for every individual.
Yes, but that's what Baba Ambedkar is saying, no? Be earnest.
Yes, yes.
That we have to understand. No, be earnest. He's not saying that it's easy. He's saying that you have to hasten, do it now. If you find an opportunity to do good, do it now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Do it. Do it.
Yes, we must do it.
Okay. Any other reflections or any other comments?
As per Dr. Ma'am, the way we follow and do all the goods, it will become natural habit of our daily life if we'll keep on doing this thing, and we will not get affected by the others also.
Very true, Mesh bhai. Very true. Very true, Mesh bhai.
Yeah, Rahul here. Hello. Yeah, I would like to share the two gathas, I think, which are exactly meaning the same. One is the papopi passati bhadrang, yavam papacha passati, yadacha passati papam, अथ पापो पापानि पश्यति. उसका मतलब होता है पापी को जब तक पाप का फल नहीं मिलता है तब तक वह पाप को अच्छा समझता है, किंतु जब पाप का फल मिलता है तब उसे पाप दिखाई पड़ने लगता है. वैसे ही भद्रोपि पश्यति पापम यावम भद्रम न पश्यति यदा च पश्यति भद्रम अथ भद्रो भद्रानि पश्यति. जब तक पुण्य का फल नहीं मिलता है तब तक पुण्य पुरुष भी पुण्य को बुरा समझता है, किंतु पुण्य का फल मिलता है तब पुण्य दिखाई पड़ने लगते हैं. और उसका कुछ स्टोरी है अनाथ पिंडक का आगे. आई थिंक that exactly was mentioned here.
It fits very beautifully in what we are studying.
Yes, yes.
It fits very beautifully.
इसमें एक बात और बहुत खूब है कि जो चीजें हैं कि जैसे हमारे यहाँ पर तो ऐसा नहीं है कि किसी पाप कर्म के लिए प्रायश्चित निश्चित है, कि जब तक धर्म ग्रंथों में पाप के लिए प्रायश्चित रहेगा तो पाप होता ही रहेगा. तो उस तरह के ऑप्शंस हमारे हैं कि वी हैव टू give up and we have to make our line bigger of good things and good deeds. Only this is the only way, the way of being happy.
Very good. And doing away with evil. Only doing good is the way
Yes.
towards not doing evil.
Yes, yes.
Very beautiful said. Yeah. Pankaj bhai?
Yeah, Mangesh bhai, thank you.
Yeah.
I was listening to Dr. Madam. This is very right. It is very difficult to go away from all the defilements. But what I experienced on personal level also, even we don't do good, but recognition at that moment of the bad is also one way of stopping thinking about bad, or it is stopping further doing bad things. For example, you see, we are surrounded by so many things. We get angry clients, we get angry colleagues. So your mind, no matter how much you are doing good, you are practicing good, that moment you may be agitated in the mind. You may verbally go wrong. In thinking you may go wrong, but that time, if one is alert and acceptance of that thing, yes, I'm thinking wrong. I'm thinking, or my speech is wrong. That helps a lot. Of that thing and acceptance of that thing. This just I wanted to say. Yeah.
Good. Excellent. Very good.
Very beautiful, Pankaj.
Yeah, very good. Anybody else? Dr.
Can I
Saab?
say something?
Yes, please.
It is found that there are some sections of the society who are doing bad continuously since years. But nothing bad has come to them. They are getting good things only. And those against whom the bad is done, those people are suffering.
Yes. I understand this question very well, and you are referring to a kind of a system.
Yes, yes.
No, that's let's call it caste system. So
Yeah,
how do you do away with that caste system? We see that people are benefiting materially, they have well-to-do lives than the people who are trampled down, isn't it? So there is a system which tramples down the people, and there is a system that elevates certain people, giving them privileges, right?
yeah.
So that is a situation. Now, what do we do in this situation? We act, we do good.
No, we are doing good only, but the bad doer is doing bad and bad only. So
Yes.
then there that part of the evil will be filled, and he will start reflecting. He will start getting the bad things on his own.
Yes, and the little by little they might be accumulating the great evils.
Since
And
last 5,000 years, how much time it should take that their part of the evil is not yet filled?
how do you know that it might be already they might be facing a lot of difficulties? We don't know, isn't it? On a
They are
psychological.
enjoying, yeah, they are enjoying all the rights.
Hmm.
Our people are deprived
Yes.
everywhere.
So what is the way out?
We are doing all good things.
Yeah.
I think agitation against evil is good.
Yeah.
If we read the Buddha and Karl Marx, so we can wage a war against evil. That is a good. So war is not bad in all conditions. So we need to जो है सिखा संगठित व संघर्ष करा. So we need to agitate. We need to struggle. One who just bear harming continuously, he is also doing evil. He should revolt against that. So that is what I think we should do.
So I think then that agitation, is it not coming under the bad thing?
No, that is not coming. That exclusively
No.
mentioned in Buddha and his Karl
If
Marx.
our people are agitating against somebody, is it not
No,
coming
no,
under bad
the
thing?
war, the Buddha's, there is in the section in the Buddha and Dhamma where the monk says, we are warriors. Why we are warriors? We fight. When the virtue is in danger, we fight. So when this very good thing is in danger, we have to fight. And we have to fight, Sunil sir. We cannot.
There is a difference. Willing to kill, and there is no thought, no willing to kill.
Correct. Wish to kill and
Yeah.
Need to kill and need to kill.
Correct.
What I'm saying is
Revolutionary.
what basically I'm trying to get it at here is doing good is ultimately going to lead to goodness. So what does it means doing good? Are we creating social harmony? Are we creating a community that has these virtues? I think if we can do it, we cannot underestimate that we are divided. The caste system has broken our morals down. The caste system has affected us psychologically. It has enslaved our minds, and we have to do something about it. We cannot just wait for the time, as you are saying, Sunil sir. We have to hasten doing good. So doing good can also imply that fighting against the evil. How do we fight the evil? By doing more good, right? Can we fight evil with the evil?
Yeah. No.
No. We will just escalate it. But if we fight the evil with good, with speed, with firm conviction, we don't know, maybe Baba Ambedkar has already created the conditions for the evil to disappear. Isn't it?
Most powerful example is that what we are discussing today and what the title we are having in before our names is all due to the Baba Sahib, and that 5,000 enslavement has slowly vanished. Now we in 70 years or 700 years, we have achieved so much, and we have putting our step forward very strongly.
All right. Yeah. Umesh bhai, yes, good, well done, well said. We are reaching to the end of our class, and if unless there is anything urgent, we will end our class here. Is there anything on somebody's mind that they cannot hold on? So please say it. Alka madam.
Verse number 11. Paint is the fragrance of essence, but the fragrance of virtue ascends to the highest level. Here the Gatha is similar, it seems. Na pushpa gandho patimatamiti na chandanam tagarma likava. Sakancha gandho patimatamiti samadhi sa sat pushpati.
Very true. Just to answer to Sunil sir's question again. Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Alka madam, thanks for sharing the nice gatha. Just to answer the Sunil Bhaw's question in more clarity, is this that even those people who are doing harm to us, they don't know that, they are prejudiced mind, false ideas, evil ideas in their mind. So imagine now they have this evil deeds that they are committing by practicing caste system, isn't it? So there must be some kind of dissatisfaction. There must be some kind of what is called what Baba Ambedkar is saying, to maintain such kind of a evil system, how much evil you have to be. So let's not just look at what is happening outside. Those people who are trying to destroy others, those people who are trying to slam people down. If we look at the way Buddha has says, they are actually crushing themselves. The verse
We
number
should bring to their notice that they are doing evil.
Yeah, they know it. Due to their insecurities, they are doing it.
So verse number
make their
25, verse number 25 is very clear. The evil done by oneself, self-begotten, self-bred, crushes the door as a diamond breaks even a precious stone. Okay, we can keep on doing this discussion because we have a long time. We have so much time to study all this, the Buddhist way of life. But I find it very fascinating the way Baba Ambedkar has defined how the Buddhists should live their lives. And the Buddhist way of life constitute in this 3 sentences: do good, be no party to evil, commit no sin. That's it. If we can do it, this thing, we don't have to do anything. That's the way to practice. Means do good, be active. So with this, let's conclude the class today, and we will continue in the next discussion. I think it's very amazing that the way our classes are proceeding. I'm particularly happy to the way the things are going forward, and we will keep on talking and discussing more and more in the forthcoming classes. So in a nutshell, if we are Buddhist and we want a Buddhist way of life, let's do good. Let's hasten to do good. Let's not be slothful. Let's not be lazy in doing good. If we are lazy in doing good, then the evil will overpower us. Let's not leave the single opportunity to do good, little by little. The whole, the good grows. So thank you so much, and see you in the next classes.